So, what really leads to success? I mean, it's one of those huge questions, right? Something we all think about. Well, today we're going to break it all down. You hear a ton of different answers. Some people swear it's all about natural born genius. Others say it's just plain luck, right place, right time. But is that the whole story? What do the patterns actually tell us? Let's dive in and find out. Okay, but before we go any further, we have to get one thing straight. And this is probably the most important point of all. Success, it doesn't have one single definition. Not at all. What it means to you, that could be climbing the corporate ladder, having financial freedom, or making a huge impact on the world. Whatever it is, that's your personal starting line. Everything else we're about to talk about, it all builds on that foundation. All right, let's jump into part one of our framework, the inner game. This is all about mastering your mindset. It's about what's happening right up here, inside your head. Because really, before you can achieve anything out there in the world, you've got to win the battle in here first. And this right here shows a huge split in how we see our own abilities. On one side, you've got the fixed mindset. This is the belief that your talent is what it is. You're either born good at something or you're not. End of story. But on the other side, you have the growth mindset. And this is the one that research just keeps linking to long-term success. It's this core belief that your skills can be developed, that you can get better through dedication and hard work. And with this mindset, failure isn't some final verdict on your abilities. Nope, it's just feedback. It's data. You can kind of think of a growth mindset as the rich soil where these four key pillars can really take root and grow. Your vision? That gives you your North Star, your direction. Passion, well, that's the fuel for the journey. Self-belief is what gives you the courage to actually take that first scary step. And resilience? Oh, that's the good stuff. That's what keeps you getting back up every single time you hit a wall. And the cool part is, they all feed into each other, making the whole system stronger. I love this quote because it just nails the whole point of the inner game. See, it's not about chasing trophies or getting likes. It's about an internal promise to yourself to just keep growing. So, now that we have this internal engine firing, let's see how it actually translates into action. Okay, so you've got your mindset dialed in. Now what? Well, welcome to part two, the outer game. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's where we take all that powerful internal energy and turn it into real, tangible action out in the world. We've all heard this a million times, haven't we? Just work hard. It's the classic advice for success. Just put your head down, put in the hours. And look, it's not wrong, but it's definitely incomplete. So, is it enough? According to basically all the research, the answer is a big, resounding no. Just grinding away for hours on end, that's actually not the most effective way to do things. Turns out, the quality of your effort matters way, way more than the quantity. And that brings us to this amazing concept called deliberate practice. Okay, think about a guitarist for a second. They could just play their favorite song over and over again. Sure, that's practice, but deliberate practice? That's when they find that one super tricky 3-second chord change and they isolate it. They play it slowly, perfectly, hundreds of times until it becomes second nature. It's about being super strategic, zeroing in on your weak spots, and always looking for feedback. In other words, it's all about working smarter, not just harder. So how do you actually do this? How do you put deliberate practice into motion? Well, it's a pretty clear process. First, you've got to set crystal clear goals. Then, you build consistent habits that actually move the needle. Discipline, that's what kicks in to keep those habits going, especially on the days when you're just not feeling it. And finally, and this is a big one, when you fail, and trust me, you will, you have to treat it as a lesson, not a loss. And this right here is so, so critical. Look, we live in a world of endless distractions, right? So the ability to focus all your energy on one primary thing, that is a legitimate superpower. Every time you say no to something that doesn't fit your vision, you're actually freeing yourself up to say a powerful yes to what really, truly matters. Okay, so we've covered mindset, the inner game, and action, the outer game. But there's a third incredibly powerful piece to this puzzle that we absolutely cannot ignore. And that's the team game. Yeah, this is all about the people you surround yourself with. You know that whole myth of the lone genius toiling away in isolation and changing the world all by themselves? Yeah, that's exactly what it is, a myth. The reality is that building a strong network of people around you isn't a sign of weakness. It's a strategic multiplier. It takes everything you do and just amplifies it. So what does a strong support system even look like? Well, it's usually built from a few key parts. You've got mentors who offer that hard-earned wisdom. You've got your peers who you can collaborate with and who keep you on track. Your community gives you that crucial sense of belonging. And honest feedback, that's the fuel for your growth. Every single piece plays its own unique, vital role. But how do you actually build that network? Well, it comes down to developing these skills. Effective communication lets you actually share your vision and get people on board. Emotional intelligence helps you navigate all the ups and downs of human relationships. And helping others, that might be the foundation of the whole thing. It's simple, really. When you add value to the people around you, they're so much more likely to want to support you in return. All right, so we've journeyed through the inner game of mindset, the outer game of action, and the team game of support. Now let's pull it all together and see what the big picture looks like. So, here it is, the entire framework in a nutshell. It all starts with the inner game, that core belief that you can learn and grow. That's your foundation. That foundation then makes the outer game possible, the smart, focused actions you take every day. And all of that hard work is then amplified by the team game, the amazing support network you build around you. See how they all connect? And this really brings us back to what it's all about. It's so easy to get fixated on the external stuff, the money, the job title, the status, but true, lasting fulfillment, that almost always comes from the journey itself. It's found in having a sense of purpose, in the feeling of growth, and in the deep, meaningful relationships you build along the way. And so, here we are at the end. We've laid out all the pieces, the mindsets, the principles, the actions. You could say all the ingredients are right here on the table. So the only real question left is, what will you choose to create with them?